Assalamu alaikum family, and welcome to Mindsparkcreations. Yes, we are here in Macon, Georgia at Mindsparkcreations, and today is a very special day because we are actually going in to be a part of Nafeezah Ali's class today. She's gonna do a live impromptu class. She's gonna do a live impromptu class right here. She's gonna teach us some things. So let's go right on in and see what we're gonna learn today. Just want to give you all a little bit of a overshadow of the beauty of the facility that we are in. A bit of the beauty of the shadow of the facility that we are in today. And all right, and here she is, Nafeezah Ali, the queen of rap. So we're gonna get into asking a few questions, and then we're gonna actually start our class, okay? All right, so I see we got the candle burning, and we got the flour and the water, and a little bit, the door was a little bit open. Could you kind of tell me what that was all about? Just a little bit of that.
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum family. Love and unity to everyone out there. I am Nafeezah Ali, the queen of rap, and I'm coming to you today regarding natural stones and using what the Creator has given to us. One of the things that Brother Dawood mentioned was the candle burn, which is the fire. We have earth. We have the element of water. And of course, because we're breathing, we have the element of air as well. So those elements are brought in when I design my jewelry, because those are the core elements of our universe. They all come from the Creator. They're given to us for life. And we need life in order to enjoy what the Creator has given to us. So what we have here today is we have natural stones. As you can see here, these are some of the natural stones. Some of them are raw, meaning they have not been polished or tumbled. And then we have those that have been polished and tumbled. And these right here have been cut, they're sliced. This is an agate. Just to give you a little information about crystals in general before I go into any detail, I'm just going to read a little information from the Crystal Bible. It's an excellent book. It talks a little bit about the crystals and its benefits. And what we have here, it says, everyone is attracted to gemstones. Diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and sapphires are praised the world over. These are indeed precious stones. They uplift the heart. Their brightness is what most people think when they hear the word crystal. Equally praised are the semi-precious stones, such as, we have a little bit of carnelian, you have garnet, rock crystals, lapis lazuli. They have been used for adornment and as a symbol of power for thousands of years. But such crystals were valued for more than just beauty. They each had a sacred meaning in ancient cultures. Their healing properties were as important as their ability to adorn. Crystals still have the same properties today, but not all crystals are as flamboyant as others. These type of stones are quieter, less outwardly attractive crystals that are nonetheless extremely powerful. Gemstones themselves can easily be overlooked when in their natural uncut state, but their attributes remain the same. And an uncut sapphire, for instance, which cost a fraction of the price of a faceted stone, is as effective as the most beautiful cut gem. Most people are familiar with crystals that have been around for years, such as amethyst, malachite, obsidian, but nowadays more crystals are being found in the earth. Now, just to give you a little bit more about crystals, and I'll start with the agate. When you think of crystal, crystal is something that has been crystallized. It is a process that is formed, and it happens in our earth every day. This is a natural crystal. This is how it grows in the earth. There are places in the earth where crystals are as large as the human body and larger, where people can actually walk across it like a bridge. They have found a humongous pyramid crystal in the water under or at the Bermuda Triangle, where all the planes and the boats disappear. What happens is they malfunction because of the power of the pyramid that's in the water that had not been known for years. They use crystals in our telephones. And in watching any movie, which I know there are a lot of movie fans out there, you always see when they get this weapon, they have a crystal in the middle that just makes it magnified 10, 100 times more powerful. So if that crystal can do that, imagine what that crystal can do for you in your life. Crystals of all types are very important to our life, and we need to have them near and dear to us because of the energy that these crystals have. And it means something different for every single body. Everybody experiences things different, so you'll have different types of crystals that you may be attracted to depending on the energy that you have and the need that your body has. So I was going to talk about this crystal here. This is what's called an agate. The way this is grown in the earth, it actually starts as a drip of water. Just one little drip of water in a cave. And so what happens is years and years of one little drip, and then it crystallizes. And then another drip, it crystallizes, and then it forms into a rock. And you can see maybe from the side here, the rock and the hardness of the outside of it. Okay? So what happens is over years, it forms, so you see it, a little drip of water and another drip of water. It's kind of like a tree. The years and years and years, it grows. And then once it gets to a nice sized rock, then they cut it. And when they slice it, then we have what's called an agate. They come in many different forms. This one has been infused with color. So it doesn't come this particular color in the earth. But isn't this a beautiful purple? I know, I love this piece. But if you can see closely the different lines in each, in there, you can see the formation of that particular crystal. Very beautiful. It's awesome what the Creator has given to us in the earth. Now I'm looking for my amethyst. And my amethyst, I don't have it right now. So we'll get a piece of amethyst in a few moments to show you, just allowing you to see. You could, okay. Dawood is going to get a piece of amethyst for us. That's right behind him. So, because I think it's important that you see how things are grown in the earth, and you can also do some research yourself. Okay? So, as you see, this is an amethyst. And I know everybody has seen amethyst before. But on the back of here is the rock. And they call it a geo. So they come in many sizes. They may be this big, they may be this big, they may be this big. It really just depends on how long it's been growing in the earth. And what happens when they open those rocks up, this is what's on the inside. And when you think about the human being, we sometimes look very rough on the outside. But what the God has put on the inside of us is really beautiful. And we have to reconnect with that beauty that has been put within us from the Creator. As precious as these stones are, they are not as precious as we are. But when I work with these stones, I ask the Creator for his healing energy to be able to bring out what he has put into these stones. And partially we're bringing in the different elements. That's what I'm doing here with the jewelry, with the holistic healing jewelry. We wear a lot of synthetic jewelry. We have synthetic clothes. We have so much synthetic things around us, and then we have chemicals in our food. Once we can get ourselves back to natural things, back to nature, back to what God put on the earth for us as human beings, as consumption, then we can start healing the community and healing ourselves. It's extremely important. It's also important who creates your jewelry. There are a lot of jewelry companies out here, and a lot of people making different things. And you got the $5 jewelry, you got stuff that's $1. Who's making it, and what energy is going into that jewelry? Our ancestors knew how important it was not only to have the properties and the healing powers of the stones, but the importance of the person who created that jewelry for them as well. That person's energy goes, it's just like someone who cooks for you. Their energy is going into your food. And it does make a difference. Energy is very real, the same as the air that we breathe. You know, it's very real. So the more that we can connect with the real energy, the more powerful we can become as human beings. So with that, we're going to work on a few pieces today, but I'm going to show you some finished products that I have begun. And this one right here is a keychain. The stone is carnelian, and the metal that I used is copper. One of the reasons that I work with copper is because copper is a conduit of energy and electricity. All right, little extra sound for you. But energy and electricity, it also pulls toxins out of the body, and I'm sure all of you have heard it's great for arthritis. The reason that it's good for arthritis is because it allows that energy to flow in your joints. It also helps to prevent carpal tunnel syndrome. I work a lot with my hands because, you know, I make a lot of jewelry. So I definitely want to have my copper ring on. I have my copper bracelet. This one is called a forever bracelet. This, just give you a little information. This bracelet was given to me by my father many, many years ago, and it broke. And I was carrying the beads around, and I finally decided to do something with it. So what I did was created this forever piece. So again, it's one piece of copper that runs through the entire piece. And so I never have to worry about losing a bead, and I never have to worry about it breaking, because copper is a very strong metal. And so it's something that'll last a lifetime, something you can pass down generation to generation. Another finished product. See if I can hold it up for you. This is Tychite. Tychite is actually formed in the earth from a meteorite that hit the earth. And the minerals from the meteorite and the earth form what's called Tychite. It's very, very powerful for your third eye. So if you're familiar with your third eye, of course, that's a very powerful vision, you know, where we're allowed to see into the future and be able to see things a lot clearer in our life. If you've ever spent any time meditating, then you know that that energy is very real. And this is a very powerful stone, and I do suggest having this stone by itself, because if you put a crystal with it, it may just be a little too powerful for you. All right, and here's another piece. Now this right here, it's a standard wrap. You'll see that a lot in wrap jewelry. It's a standard wrap, but it's definitely securing that stone. So you never have to worry about that stone falling out. It is a piece that will last you a very, very long time. And for anyone who purchases any of my jewelry, I do guarantee my products for 1 year. So no matter what happens to your pieces, if you know the doggy pulled on it and it broke, it doesn't matter. I'll repair it for you, okay? Because I love you like that. And I really want you to wear these pieces and get more into the natural stones, okay? So definitely do some research on different stones. If there's a particular color that you like, that you're always attracted to, look up that stone and see what energy that stone is, that energy the stone has, and you'll learn why you're attracted to that color. So I've already started with some earrings, and we're going to do some earrings today. That's going to be our focus. So I've started on earrings, and I'm working with stainless steel today because there are a lot of people out there that like silver, not necessarily the copper. I'm going to work with some copper too, but today we're working with stainless steel. Okay, so what I did was I've created this little swirl. This particular swirl in ancient Egyptian or Kemetic times was used to trap negative energy. So you'll see these this symbol a lot in Kemetic art and jewelry. Then we have some tiny crystals, and then we also have some jade. Okay, so it was just a design that I thought about today. What we have here are pliers. This is called a round nose. So what I'm going to do is, they have a couple of different things that you can do. You can do a basic turn. I'm sure in all the women out there, I'm sure you've seen this as a hoop on your earring. The problem with this one is that it's easy for something to slip through there. So you've had earrings that have slipped through and now you don't know how to repair it. So what I'm going to show you today in making jewelry is how to secure your pieces so that you can guarantee your work for a year and not worry about it. Not worry about people coming back to you saying, my jewelry broke. So what I'm going to do is a closed loop. See where I'm taking it? I'm going to bend it this way, and I'm going to pull this back over. So what we have is a little hoop. You see that? I hope that's focused in for you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to wrap it around this piece here. Okay? So try to do it where you can see and I can see as well. You can come down. You got it? All right. So you see how I just did that. Make sure you're following me. Now it's not really tight, right? You can see that? So what I'm going to do is you got to work with it. You can't be afraid of the wire, and you're going to have to use a little bit of energy. See, I keep my nails cut very short because I have to use my hands and my nails to make those things happen. So you see how I'm turning this around. Now, of course, this is a little difficult because I'm trying to do it where you can see and I can see at the same time. All right, so I got it around there a couple of times. Now I'm going to cut this in right there. You want to always protect your eyes. I wear glasses, so they're pretty protected. All right, so then I'm going to take my tool and try to round this out a bit. The beauty of making jewelry is, for one, it's not perfect, and that's okay, because it's going to be your one-of-a-kind piece. But you have to work with it and not give up. No matter what's going on with that piece, don't give up. Just keep working with it. And even if it doesn't look like what it looked like in the book, it's still your original one-of-a-kind piece. I'm almost done with this one. Okay, and what I want to do is just turn it, make sure the whole earring is even. And I'm making sure that this little small piece is curled in, because I don't want anybody, of course, to ever get hurt by my jewelry. Oh, look at what happened. Unfortunately, that can happen. So what happened, as I was twisting it, the little crystal broke on it. So I think both of the crystals actually broke on there. And it's okay, because you're the jewelry maker, you can always create another piece. And that's the beauty of it. So I'm going to go ahead, since I already got this one going, I'm going to do the same thing here, hopefully not break any of my crystals. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it where I can see it, because I think that was the problem. I had it a little too far away from me. Okay, so that's good for me. I'm going to clip it as close as I can. You can see that. I'm going to try to pull that up a little bit, squeezing it closer together. Now, in your jewelry making, stainless steel is not as pliable as the copper. The copper is a little bit easier to work with. Okay? And we're just going to work it a little bit to make sure it's nice and straight. And so there's our earring. And you can continue to play with it a little bit just to get that a little bit closer up. And voila, there you go. We already have some finished hooks. So we're going to open the hook, put the earring in there, and then close it up. And there you have a beautiful little earring. Okay, so I hope that was pretty easy. I'm going to start from the beginning and show you how to do it. Okay, so we're going to take copper this time. We're going to begin the swirl. You take the very edge of the copper with the needle nose plier and you turn it. You're going to make yourself a little swirl. And then once you get your swirl, I have a flat head or a flat nose pliers where I can hold it and then kind of curl the copper. Now you can do this to whatever size you want to do it to. I use my fingers as I go along just to kind of hold things in place. And for me, that is a good size. And then I'm going to bend this end, so catch it right there, and then bend that up. So you see how we got that? So that's going to be the bottom of our earring. All right, so I have an anvil over here, which is very heavy. This one weighs 11 pounds. And I have my hammer, and I'm going to hit this maybe a couple of times, maybe about 10, 12 times. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. Now, what that does is two things. If you hit it hard enough, it will flatten it. But what I wanted it to do was strengthen my copper so that it's not as flexible as this part. Okay? So we have this piece. And let me see. We could do the same thing. That's a pretty one. It's got plenty of color on it. And then we have the little bitty tiny crystals. These are called Swarovski crystals. And they're natural crystals, but you know, they've processed it. And it's okay because it adds a little bling. That's it. We're going to take this one. Okay. Pull that all the way through to the end. Then we get us another crystal. Again, you have to be patient. And just take it as a time of oneness with yourself. You know, when you're doing this jewelry, it's not a rush. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be this. It's something that you can spend time with yourself, spend time with your thoughts. You know, you can even put on some nice music, whether it be some African drums in the back or some Reiki music. You know, it could be some jazz if you like jazz. You know, whatever it is that make you feel comfortable, because this is your time with you and the Creator. Whenever you are, you know, creating with your own hands, whether it be jewelry or you're doing art or a statue, you know, whatever it is that you're doing, just know that that's the time between you and the Creator where He's bringing out of you what's in you. You're not really the one. It's Him, and it's the greatness of God in you that allows you to bring that extra part of you to the rest of the world. You have an idea, you have a vision. You say, B, I want to make some earrings. And then you go and you make it happen. So, again, the same as the other one. We're going to grab it just a little bit up, because that's the part that we're going to be wrapping the string of the wire around. So I bend it this way, and then I'm going to bring this back here. Okay? So now I have my little piece that I'm going to wrap it around. Now, as you can see, the copper is definitely more user-friendly than the stainless steel. Okay, so I got that. So now I have my little edge that I'm going to just kind of tuck in, because we want to make sure that no one gets hurt because they wore our jewelry. All right, and voila, there we have our earring. Very simple. You see, it didn't take a long time. So if you know you're going out to a party tonight and you got a couple of pieces of stones and you want to make some earrings, you can make it just like that. Wear whatever you like to wear, make them as long as you want. This right here, if we decided we wanted to make it longer and connect it to another piece, you can do that. I'll show you how to do that, and then we're going to be done for today. So we got another piece of copper. we're going to bend the copper. I'm going to put this piece on it. And then we're going to wrap the other piece of copper around there, because what we're doing is making a hoop. A loop, hoop, loop. All right, so I'm just going to use my hands at this point. You know, and work with it the best way that you can for you. You know, I use both my hands and then I use the tools as well. So that's been wrapped around. Cut that little edge off. And now I'm gonna secure that little piece. And then I'm straightening out the hoop so that once I'm finished, now I have that little hoop there. See that? All right, so because I like a little bling, I'm gonna put some more of the crystals, small ones. Okay, I'm gonna take another piece of jade. All right, and just wanna keep that straight. And I'm going to show you that closed hoop again. So I came here, I'm going to turn it, and then I'm pulling my copper around. I want to try to make sure my circle is as round as I can. Now if you notice, I'm trying to go under each time that I go around. I'm going under. And the reason that is because you want it to look good. You see that? See how nice that looks? All right, and so now we'll cut the extra off. And then we're going to secure that little edge. And I tend to use the flat head for this, but sometimes you will need to get the round nose just to tuck it in the rest of the way. Okay, and then you just want to kind of make sure everything is straightened out and nice. And I have to go and get a hoop for the earring, but just for the sake of showing you a complete earring, I'm going to take the stainless steel hoop, open it up, slide that in there. Now when you have the hoop, the earring, and you're opening it up, you don't want to pull it out. You just want to turn it a little bit. And then you slide your piece on it. And then you close it. So then you have this beautiful little earring. You see that? All that character? It's a very pretty earring. It's nice and long if you like long earrings. Of course, if you just wanted the shorter earring, you could do that. And you would have a shorter earring or the longer earring. And remember, stones come in so many different shapes and sizes. You know, today we only covered earrings, but at another time we're going to cover how would I even begin to wrap something like this? Because imagine that as a necklace. It can be very, very beautiful. And not only beautiful, but you see how that stone is touching my skin? That's God's creation touching me and allowing me to communicate with that natural stone. And of course, it could do the same for you. So if you have any questions about the video and what I shared with you, please feel free to give me a call. Again, my name is Nafeezah Ali. I am the Queen of Rap. My number is 678-368-1818. You can also send me an email at mindsparkcreations@gmail.com. That's MINDSPARK creations@gmail.com. And I also have an Etsy page, so if you want to purchase any of our products, you can purchase our product at etsy.com. That's etsy.com/shop, SHOP/Nafeezah Ali, NAFEEZAHALI. That's etsy.com/shop/Nafeezah Ali. It has truly been a pleasure to be before you all. I pray that you enjoyed what you learned today, and please call me or email me with questions, and I look forward to the next video where we will cover wire wrapping natural stones. I'm sorry, one moment.
If you're in the Macon area.
Oh, of course, if you're in the Macon area, I'm sorry. We are located at 3420 Napier Avenue. At the beginning of the video, my husband showed the front of our store. We do have an actual store, and we teach these classes one-on-one. So if you are here in the Macon area, or even if you have a group that you want to have a party on jewelry making, we can absolutely make that happen. Again, I'm Nafeezah Ali. Look forward to serving you all. Have an awesome rest of your day. Peace.